The air in the stadium was electric. You could feel it from the first whistle. This was the FIFA Club World Cup, a stage where giants collide. Paris Saint-Germain came out with a point to prove. They moved with a swagger, a confidence that said, "This is our game." The noise from the crowd was a constant roar, a soundtrack to the drama unfolding on the pitch. Botafogo, representing the pride of Brazil, were not there to make up the numbers. They stood firm, ready for the challenge. But the French champions had a different gear. They started fast, pressing high up the pitch, not giving the Brazilians a moment's peace. It was a breathless, high-stakes opening. PSG's midfield was simply a different class. They controlled the tempo from the outset. Every pass was crisp, every movement had a purpose. You could see the game plan in action. They wanted to dominate possession, to starve Botafogo of the ball, and it worked. The Parisians formed triangles all over the park, making it impossible for Botafogo to get close. The ball moved from side to side, probing for an opening in the Brazilian defense. It was patient, yet it was relentless. The Brazilians chased shadows for long periods, their energy being sapped by the constant movement of their opponents. It was a masterclass in midfield control, a lesson in how to take charge of a football match. The early pressure was immense. PSG pinned Botafogo back into their own half. The wingers were flying, hugging the touchlines and stretching the play. They were a constant threat, always looking to get in behind the full-backs. You could sense a goal was coming. It felt inevitable. The chances started to mount. A shot fizzed just wide of the post. A header looped over the bar. The Botafogo goalkeeper was called into action early, making a sharp save down to his left. The Parisian machine was warming up and the warning signs were there for all to see. The question wasn't if they would score, but when. Botafogo, to their credit, tried to weather the storm. They defended with heart, throwing bodies on the line. Their backline was organized and disciplined, trying to keep a compact shape. But PSG's quality was just too much. The French side's movement off the ball was exceptional, pulling defenders out of position and creating gaps. Every time Botafogo managed to clear their lines, the ball came straight back at them. It was wave after wave of attack. The pressure was suffocating. You have to admire the resilience of the Brazilian side, but they were hanging on by a thread against a team playing at the very peak of its powers. It was a dominant opening display. Then, the breakthrough arrived. It was a goal of pure speed and precision. The move started down the left wing. The PSG winger took on his man, beating him with a burst of pace. He drove towards the byline, his head up, looking for a teammate. He whipped in a perfect cross, curling it into the danger area between the defenders and the goalkeeper. Arriving like a steam train was the PSG striker. He rose highest, meeting the ball with a powerful header. The connection was sweet. The ball flew into the back of the net before the keeper could even move. A fantastic goal. 1-0 to PSG. Botafogo had to respond. Conceding the goal seemed to wake them from their slumber. They finally started to play. They pushed forward with more intent, trying to find a foothold in the game. Their midfielders began to get on the ball, linking up play and looking for their talented forwards. They created a couple of decent opportunities. A long-range shot forced the PSG goalkeeper into a comfortable save. Then a clever through ball almost put their striker in on goal, but the pass was just a little overhit. You could see the Brazilian spirit. They weren't going to lie down. They were here to fight for their place in the tournament. This is where PSG's defense showed its quality. They were as solid as a rock. The two central defenders were immense, winning every header and every tackle. They read the game beautifully, anticipating the danger and snuffing it out before it could develop. When Botafogo tried to attack, they were met with a wall of blue shirts. The organization was superb. The back four moved as one unit, marshaled brilliantly by their captain. They gave their opponents absolutely nothing. It's one thing to have a brilliant attack, but a championship-winning team needs a strong defense. PSG showed they have just that. The key moment of the Brazilian resurgence came late in the half. A slick passing move cut through the PSG midfield, and suddenly the Botafogo forward was through on goal. It was a one-on-one situation. The stadium held its breath. The striker shot low and hard, aiming for the bottom corner. But the PSG goalkeeper was equal to it. He spread himself big and made a magnificent save with his legs. It was a crucial stop. A goal then would have changed the entire complexion of the game. Instead, PSG went into the break with their lead intact, their goalkeeper the hero of the moment. That save was as important as a goal. The second half began, and that crucial save seemed to have deflated Botafogo. PSG came out with renewed vigor, and the second goal was a perfect example of their lethal ability. Botafogo committed men forward for a corner, desperate for an equalizer. The delivery was cleared, and the ball fell to a PSG midfielder on the edge of his own box. In a flash, the counterattack was on. He sprayed a pass out to the right wing, and the forward was off to the races. He sprinted the length of the pitch, leaving defenders trailing in his wake. As he entered the box, he didn't hesitate. He took one touch and fired a quick shot across the keeper and into the far corner. It was devastatingly effective. 2-0. That goal really knocked the stuffing out of Botafogo. You could see their shoulders slump. The game, which had been in the balance, now felt firmly in PSG's grasp. The Parisians played with even more freedom after that. The passing was slicker, the confidence was flowing. They knew they had broken the Brazilian resistance. The crowd responded, their chants growing louder, celebrating every pass. It was a party atmosphere for the French supporters. Botafogo kept trying, but their attacks lacked the belief they had shown earlier. PSG were in complete control, dictating the pace and strangling any hope of a comeback. The game had fundamentally shifted. Then came the moment of sheer brilliance, the icing on the cake. PSG won a free kick about 25 yards from goal, slightly to the left of center. It looked like a perfect position for a shot. The specialist stepped up. The stadium fell silent in anticipation. He took a few steps and struck the ball with incredible technique. It curled beautifully over the wall, dipping viciously at the last second. The goalkeeper was rooted to the spot. He could only watch as the ball nestled into the top corner of the net. It was an absolutely stunning goal. A work of art. 3-0. Game over. That third goal was more than just a goal. It was a statement. It showcased the individual brilliance within this star-studded PSG team. To have a player who can produce a moment of magic like that from a dead ball situation is a massive weapon in any tournament. It demoralized Botafogo completely and sent a clear message to every other team in the Club World Cup. PSG were not just a team of great passers. They had players who could win a game on their own. The celebration was pure joy, a team at the height of its powers enjoying its football. It was a truly special moment in a dominant performance. Throughout the match, PSG's teamwork was exemplary. This wasn't just a collection of individuals, it was a cohesive unit. Every player knew their role and executed it perfectly. The understanding between the players was clear to see. When one player pressed, the others backed him up. When a player made a run, a teammate was there to cover the space. The manager made some smart changes in the second half, bringing on fresh legs to maintain the intensity. These substitutions didn't disrupt the flow of the team at all. It was a seamless transition, a sign of a well-drilled squad with real depth. This performance was a testament to their collective strength. Botafogo will be disappointed with the result, but they should not be disheartened. They came up against a team that was simply on another level on the day. They showed great heart and had their moments, especially in the first half. If that one-on-one chance had gone in, who knows what might have happened. They have talented players and a strong team spirit. They will learn from this experience and will surely bounce back in their next match. This tournament is far from over for them. They will need to regroup, focus on the positives, and go again. They showed enough quality to suggest they can still cause problems for other teams in this competition. For Paris Saint-Germain, this was the perfect start. It was more than just a win, it was a powerful message to their rivals. They demonstrated their attacking firepower, their defensive solidity, and their tactical intelligence. They have laid down a marker. Any team with aspirations of winning this Club World Cup will know that they will have to go through this formidable PSG side. The French champions look focused, hungry, and incredibly difficult to beat. Based on this display, they are without a doubt one of the favorites to lift the trophy. They have the quality, the depth, and the mindset to go all the way. Looking ahead, the path for both teams is clear. Botafogo must dust themselves off and prepare for a crucial next game where a win is essential to keep their hopes alive. PSG, on the other hand, will move forward with immense confidence. They will look to build on this momentum and continue their dominant march through the tournament. This match set the tone. It was a showcase of European power against South American passion. On this day, power and precision won out. The rest of the Club World Cup has been put on notice. PSG mean business.